Portugal first guide the build-up toward the right, where the side trap is already set. After the regain, coordinated runs in the right half space pull the defense apart and leave the delayed right winger free. Vitinha then finds that open space, and Portugal turn the advantage into a goal. Before looking at Portugal's counterattacks, let's first examine their pressing structure, which was the key foundation behind them. Portugal started in a 4-2-3-1 mid-block shape. The key was not to press wildly, but to control the build-up by blocking the nearest passing lanes. With the short options closed, the possessor is forced to play back to the goalkeeper. That back pass then becomes the trigger for Portugal's first line to jump, with the forward stepping up to press the goalkeeper directly. When the goalkeeper plays back out to the defender to escape the pressure, Portugal repeat the same mechanism. The nearby passing lanes are blocked again, so the possessor is pushed toward a longer and less stable option. And instead of fully committing to the ball carrier, Portugal then attack the receiver aggressively. That is what allows them to disrupt the next action and regain possession. Portugal's first counter-attacking strategy is not to rush after the high regain, but to use the opponent's counterpress to create a structural advantage. This attack comes directly from the previous pressing sequence. After winning the ball back, Portugal escaped the opponent's immediate counterpress through a series of short passes. However, the opponent quickly applies strong pressure again and collapse more aggressively around the ball. Portugal do not simply survive this moment. Instead, they exploit the free man created by that pressure. At the same time, the attacking midfielder makes a quick blindside run into the right half space. Rather than forcing vertical progression, they play back to the free midfielder beyond the first pressure line and use that pass to reorganize the attack, taking advantage of the opponent's ball side compactness. The midfielder in possession recognizes the movement and delivers a through pass into the right half space. At the same time, another attacker makes a central run into the box, pinning the defensive line centrally, which allows the attacking midfielder entering the right half space to receive with more time and space. So Portugal do not simply escape the counterpress. They exploit the structural gap created by the opponent's ball-oriented pressure, attack the right half space, and turn it into a dangerous shot. So the key to this attack is that Portugal do not force the attack immediately after the regain. They use the opponent's ball-oriented counterpress to find the free midfielder, and from there, attack the right half space. Portugal's second counter-attacking strategy is to control the second ball and attack the back line before it can recover. As the loose aerial ball drops into the opponent's half, Portugal immediately press forward and first block the nearby short passing options. Although the opponent wins the first contact, Portugal quickly increase the intensity around the second ball and deny them the time needed to organize the next pass. As a result, the second ball falls back to Portugal. The moment they regain possession, the right winger attacks the space in behind with a depth run, and the forward immediately recognizes that the opponent's back line has not yet recovered its compactness in transition. As the channel between the fullback and centre-back opens, he instantly plays a through pass into that gap and breaks behind the defensive line in one action. With that single connection, Portugal create a one-on-one with the goalkeeper and turn it into a dangerous shot. The key point of this strategy is that Portugal first control the second ball with immediate pressure. Then, before the backline can recover, they attack the gap between the fullback and centre-back. Portugal's third counter-attacking strategy is to lure the opponent into a side trap, then create a free man through coordinated runs in the right half space. When the opponent try to build through a pass from the defender into midfield, Portugal begin their press by blocking the ball side passing lanes, following the same pressing principle as before. The opponent managed to escape that pressure through movement and switch the ball to the right, but this is exactly where Portugal want them to go. The moment the ball travels to the right side receiver, Portugal trigger a side trap with 3 players collapsing at the same time. They not only press the receiver directly, but also shut down the nearby short passing options again, preventing the opponent from connecting the next pass cleanly. As a result, Portugal force a misplaced pass and regain possession. Once the ball is recovered and played into Vitinha, the attack begins to unfold. The attacking midfielder first makes a run into the space behind, in the right half space. Vitinha first spots the gap in the defensive line and threads a through pass into the right half space. Then the right winger joins with a delayed run into that same zone, while another attacker makes a central run through the box to pin the defensive line centrally. With the attacking midfielder dragging defenders deeper, the delayed right winger is left free, and Portugal turn that structural advantage into a goal. Portugal first guide the build-up toward the right, where the side trap is already set. After the regain, coordinated runs in the right half space pull the defense apart and leave the delayed right winger free. Vitinha then finds that open space, and Portugal turn the advantage into a goal. So in the end, Portugal's counterattacks were not just about speed. They were built on a clear pressing structure, first creating the regain, then attacking before the opponent could recover. From counterpress manipulation to second ball control to side trap regains, each attack targeted a different structural weakness. That was the essence of Portugal's transition attack. Feel free to share your thoughts on Portugal's counterattacks in the comments.